So hello everyone and welcome to this blender tutorial. So here I'm gonna show you how to make natural looking curly hair in blender. So let's start by splitting our viewport in two by going over here and click when you see the cursor turn to a plus, you drag all the way out. Now let's hide that. Now what I'm gonna do here is to subdivide this cube by 3 levels. So hit Ctrl 3 and go over here to the modifiers panel and apply modifiers and shade smooth. Now this next step we're gonna be creating the scalp for our hair. So let's head over to the first view and hit number 3 to go to the side view. Hit tab to go into edit mode and then go to wireframe view by going to Z wireframe or simply just going over here. Then let's go into face select mode. Hit C for circle selects. Now we're going to start forming our scalp. Now notice the two boundaries over here. We're going to select these two with our circle selects. We're going to highlight them. Alright. Now don't forget to get the back part. Alright, now that's done, go over here and create new vertex group, then assign to those selected faces. Now we'll name that the scalp. Alright, so now we're going to be creating the hair, and we'll do that by creating a new particle systems. Alright, hit this plus button and we're going to name this hair. Actually, we're going to be creating two parts for the hair, and that would be the scalp and the bun. So we'll name the first particle system, we'll be creating base. Yeah, that's the base hair, so we name that to base. Now we'll switch from emitter to hair, turn on advanced. Now would go over to the vertex group settings. Now make sure you select the scalp for all of them, the length, the density, the clump, kink, and the rest of them. So what this does is it assigns the selected the particles to the created vertex group. Alright. Now we're going to reduce the hair length to 1 Alright, so now that's set. We will be going over here to the viewport display, and we're going to crank the strand steps up to 5. Alright, that looks good to me. Alright, now for the grooming part, we'll be going over here to particle edits and hit N to bring up your properties panel. Okay, so you click options, select X mirror and increase the path steps to 5. That would give it some smoothness as we comb through. Make sure your resolution is high enough for you to comb seamlessly. As you can see, lower resolutions kinda gives you a blocky look when you comb. Alright. I can see the hair didn't really mirror so well. It's meant to be a topology mirror. But we can make do with that. We just comb both sides. Anyway, hair isn't always so symmetrical. Yeah, so we just keep combing that. So what I'm trying to achieve here is to bring every single strand to a central point at the back of the head. It's kind of like a ponytail. You're kind of trying to pack the hair in one central point, which is what I'm doing now. Alright, so keep combing that. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comment section and I would answer that as soon as possible. Thank you. Alright, make sure you get the back of the head too. Make sure you get that part as well. Alright, now that's done. Don't forget to save your work. So right now we're going to enable the children settings and select simple. So for the render amount, I'll set it to 30 because we're going to be making a curly hair and the amount of convolutions in it might cause your computer to crash. So render amount for 30 would do well. So go to kink type and select curl. Go out of particle edit mode so you can see what's going on. It seems like the hair is floating above the mesh, and as you can see, when there's no curl settings there, it looks okay. So you change the amplitude to 0.01, and for frequency I'll be using 40. As you can see, that's wavy like curl look actually did come out well. Looks good. Okay, frequency is 40, and that's ideal for this hair. Okay, so next we're going back into particle edit mode, and now we're going to be deleting the segment for that ponytail we created. We just needed the hair to be at one point. So as you can see, there's 3 selection modes over here. We're going to be selecting the last one, which selects by segment. So I'll hit C to go into circle select mode, and I'll highlight those points over there. So make sure to select this ones and delete. Nah, that doesn't work. Alright, we're going to delete that again. I notice it deletes the entire strand, which is not what we want, so I'll just reduce the amount of selections there. And delete again. Still not working how we expect this, so we will be deleting the keys instead. Okay, so that works better. We'll delete the keys, not the particles. Okay, delete the keys, delete key, delete key. Okay, that actually looks really nice. Okay, we'll highlight this last ones and delete key. Okay, that looks good. Alright, let's view that in object mode. Well, as you can see, that is a nice base for hair that looks packed. Alright, the particles named base. So what next we're going to be doing is we're going to create another particle settings, but before that, we'll hide the base, and we want to create the base for the bun. Actually, we want to create the new vertex group for the bun. So this is the center point right here of the hair. We're going to be selecting this 4 faces, and we create another vertex group out of this. We name this bun and assign this faces to it. Now going over to weight paint mode, hide the particle systems so we can see the weight paint well. As you can see, this is the new vertex group I created right here for the bun. So I'm just going to expand this a bit more because it's more of an afro bun. Out real well. As you can see, it has this circular shape now. Okay, so let's get out of weight paint and would create the second particle system. Now we go all the way to the vertex groups down like we did for the scalp, which is the base, and select bun for every single parameter there. As you can see, the new particle system we have created is now localized to just that area that we've weight painted. Alright, reduce the hair length to 1m, and what else? Yeah, we'll turn on B-spline under the render settings and crank that up to 5. Okay, And we'll do the same thing for the viewport display. We'll make the viewport display 5 as well. Okay, and crank the viewport display to 5. That's okay. Okay, turn on children, enable simple, and the render amounts, we would leave the viewport, the display amount to 10, and for the render amount, you make that 20. Okay, now we would crank up the size. I'm just messing around with this right now. Okay, kink type curl, amplitude 0.01, and as for the frequency, we make that 40. Okay, amplitude, we make that 0.05. We'll see how all these things work. Okay, for the viewport display, yeah, strand steps, we would make that 6 instead. As you can see, the curls are coming out quite well. So there is this other parameter I'll be using, and it's called timing. It's under the render amount. So we just adjust this as we see it. We'll make the end settings to 0.788 and the random 0.808. It gives a little bit of variation in the length. As for the curl, the amplitude, I'll bring that back to 0.01. Okay, that's looking good to me. For the shape, yeah, leave that as 0, 0. Okay, it's optional to use roughness, but I don't see any much change with using the roughness curve. So I'll just leave that like that. I'm not gonna be making use of the roughness curve. For the shape value under clumping, 0 is okay. Okay, so right now I'm just adjusting the parameters and playing around with distance. The final parameters are as shown here. Alright, roundness, yes, the roundness, I'll make that 1. It gives it the bun this look, this puffy afro look. There's really no need for clumping. We just leave that as 0. Okay, now for the magic, which is the twists. I think this is my favorite part. It gives it the whole bun feeling. Okay, the twist works well. So we'll just leave it at 1.3. 1.3, the value looks okay. Yay, so now it's time to add the hair material. So why don't we go over to shading here, and let's set our render engine to cycle. So I have a GPU, hence I'm using GPU compute. I set my sampling to 500 in rendered view. So over here I've already lit my scene with a HDRI image. I disabled the transparent under film, and you can see that. Alright, so select the face and add a new material. This first one would be face. Okay, and we'll set the base color slightly brown, not so dark. Crank the lightness up a bit. Okay, this would work. Alright, and we will be setting our subsurface to 0.2, and subsurface color to somewhere around the reddish pinkish tint. As you can see, it has the whole nice translucent appearance to it. Okay, now as for the hair, I'll be adding another material for this, and hit the plus button and name this hair. So for this, it's unprincipled BSDF, but I'll be changing this to principled hair BSDF, and we will be using melanin concentration for this. Voila! As you can see, our hair is set. As for the tint, I'll make this slightly red. Okay, so it just so happens that my hair material fell right where it should be in the particle systems, but if yours is still having the face material, you just go over here to particle settings, and under the render view here, you set your material to hair, remove it from face. As you can see, most times the hair will take the material of the emitter. So for the bun, you change it to hair, which is the new material we created. And same thing for the scalp or the base. Here I would show you how I set my lights. So first of all, I'll disable the lights I've put in my scene for now. I'm using 3 sun lamps. So I hit 7 to go to top view and hit Shift A, add sun, add lights, sun. Alright, so I'll hit 3 to go into right view. Now the sunlight is at the origin position. Now I would rotate it this way, right what? To let that light up the face along with the top of the hair. So see the rotation value for this, it's at 102 degrees for the X value on the first lamp. So I'll duplicate this, hit Shift D for this. So what I want to achieve now is the soft effect at the face for the 7-1. So I'll rotate this again. Alright, as you can see, that's good light in there. So I forgot to enable use nodes and set a warm color somewhere around slightly orange. Did that for the first as well. As you can see, it brings out this warm saturation and showcases the material of the hair. Alright, so I'll set the strength to 2. You rotate that once again. The rotation values are here, so you can just copy paste that for the second lamp. So these are the rotation and location values for the lamp, and you can see the light values here. Okay, so for this third one, I'll put enable use nodes. So I'll hit this strength to 2. Okay, so I will be adding one more lamp and hit Shift D to duplicate it. I'll be rotating it the other way, and as you can see now, the directionality of the light is giving the bun that translucent effect. It's giving it the Fresnel effects. You know, when the edges of a rim or something is lit up. Alright, so I would be giving this character a face now. I'll hit Shift A, Mesh UV Sphere, set segments to 16 and the rings to 8. Now scale that down, scale to 0.1 and drag that out to the face. Okay, these are gonna be our eyes. I'm going to subdivide this with Ctrl 1 to subdivide by 1 level. So you put the render settings to 1 so our computer doesn't lag when it's time for the rendering. So I'll be applying another modifier, the mirror modifier. For the mirror object, I'll be clicking on the face. So now let's create a material for the eye and name this eye. turn down the color to dark, not completely black, but it can be black, and turn down the roughness and turn up specular and specular tint. And don't forget to rename your objects. It's a good practice. Name this one eye. Okay, that's the head. Alright, now let's position our camera, and we'll go to render panel and see how the lighting looks from this angle. Wow, it's not bad. Alright, the lighting is good from this angle. So rotating the camera, my camera is set to lock camera to view. So rotating from this angle, as you can see, the Fresnel effect is very visible from this other right angle. Alright, so I'll show you, these are the rotation values for the camera, and these are the location values as well, in case you just want to copy paste that. Okay, these the values for the lamps. I'll be renaming this to light 1, light 2, and the last one, light 3. Oops, I named the second one wrongly, but it doesn't really matter much. So I'm using a 3-point lighting system for this. Now our render settings. Okay, render to 500. I'm using GPU, so my tiles are set to 256 by 256 pixels.